breaking news that is coming in from the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court having a busy day. This is in connection with giving relief to Altaf Al-Said, Essa Menon, Yusuf Khan and Yusuf Nulwala. The Supreme Court has now granted 4 weeks extension for them to surrender. We are being, I believe, joined by Shoaib Ahmed, who is joining us from Mumbai. Shoaib, relief, 4 weeks extension being granted to these 4 people. What about Zebunissa Qazi? Do we know anything on her front yet?
Well, the details are not clear about Zebunissa Qazi's petition, which she had made, the plea that she had made again in Supreme Court today after yesterday's review petition, and her application on health grounds was rejected. But definitely relief for the other 3 who have got an extension of a month to surrender here at the Tada court in Mumbai. These people were also convicted under various sections of the law and under various sections of the Tada Act.
Shoaib, let's get some more details before I come back to you again. Ashok Bagaria, who is with us from the Supreme Court, joining us. Ashok, what are the details you have? Any word on Zebunissa Qazi and whether she has been given relief?
Well, Shreya, there is a little change in the news flash which we are given, that relief has been extended only to 3 of the 4 convicts who had approached the Supreme Court. As far as Yusuf Nulwala is concerned, Altaf Ali Sayyed and Essa Menon are concerned, they have been given 4 weeks time, 4 more weeks of time to surrender. Yusuf Khan's petition application has been dismissed because the Supreme Court said that his review petition was already dismissed, and they were not impressed with the argument he had given that he was not keeping well. The Supreme Court said that he could undergo treatment even within the prison. But as far as the 3 others are concerned, they have been given relief. Now, as far as Zebunissa Sheikh is concerned, her matter will be taken up by the Chief Justice's bench at 2 o'clock. That's the news which we are getting at the moment, because Justice Satasivan refused to hear her petition because it was originally heard by the Chief Justice's bench, and it has now been listed for 2 o'clock for further hearing.
All right, so you're telling us that Yusuf Khan hasn't been given that reprieve. The reprieve has only been given to Altaf Ali Said, Essa Menon and Yusuf Nulwala. Shoaib Ahmed, if I can come to you, if you could tell us what exactly their role was in the 93 blast. Who are these people?
Well, their roles pertain to, in the various sequence of incidents which took place during the blast, whether it is allegations of being part of the conspiracy or providing logistical support. So they were convicted for all these charges. This reprieve coming for them, a month's extension before they surrender here at Tada, will definitely be welcome, because yesterday, remember, when Sanjay Dutt had got that 1 month extension before he surrenders, that had created quite a flutter amongst all the other convicts about their chances of getting an extension. The fact that Zebunissa Qazi's plea will now be heard by the Chief Justice's bench is something that will be watched very closely. Now at 2 p.m, as Ashok Bagaria is telling us, that's when the Chief Justice's bench will take a call on Zebunissa Qazi's plea. Is something which we'll have to watch very closely, because remember, yesterday when Sanjay Dutt had got that 4 weeks extension, Qazi's daughter had very vehemently stated that she is very disappointed with the fact that her mother, being 70 years old and having various health infirmities, hasn't been considered for an extension or surrendering, while Sanjay Dutt, on account of pending work in the film industry, is given that kind of a consideration. So this is something which we need to very closely watch. However, on the other hand, Shreya, over here at the Tada court, this will be a focus throughout the day, because at least 33 people, now that the 3 have got an extension of 1 month, at least 30 of those convicts will be surrendering here at the Tada court, and from here, after the formalities are over, they'll be taken to the Arthur Road prison. Once that is done, then they'll be shifted to the other prisons where convicts are kept across the state of Maharashtra.
All right, so you will be getting Yusuf Khan there, but not the other 3 who've been granted reprieve from the Supreme Court. A 4-week extension to surrender. I believe Arunodaya Mukherjee also joining us. Arunodaya, the Supreme Court very clearly says that they decide on the merit of each case. But what's happened today is that 3 people have been given that reprieve from the Supreme Court, much like they gave reprieve of 4 weeks to Sanjay Dutt. Does this bode well for Zebunissa Qazi?
Well, it certainly does in a sense, because you see the arguments that have been made for Zebun-Nisa Kazi are on humanitarian grounds, are on health grounds, on account of her age and also her impending illness. These are the grounds that she had appealed to the Supreme Court in that second petition that she had filed. Remember, the first one had been rejected, in which she had invoked Article 21 of the Constitution, suggesting that until her mercy petition, her clemency plea is pending before the higher authority of the governor of Maharashtra, she should be granted reprieve, or she should be given the flexibility of time and extension to surrender. But just the fact that the Supreme Court has appreciated these four individuals in different manners, three people getting a reprieve, one person not, so therefore it certainly gives hope as well, because now Zebun-Nisa Kazi, her petition will be heard by the Chief Justice's bench at around 2 o'clock, so it remains to be seen how that is appreciated. The argument that the earlier justice made was the fact that her petition had originally been heard by the Chief Justice, and therefore it should go back to that bench.
But does yesterday's mercy on Sanjay Dutt also open the Pandora's box, given the fact that there are other convicts who could come forward, much like Zebun-Nisa Kazi and the others, to say, look, we want reprieve as well? Is that something one is anticipating as the day goes forward from here?
Well, that could be an anticipation, but most of those petitions that we had seen had been filed already. And remember, today is the last date of surrendering, as Shoaib was also pointing out. It is a big day for the Tada court, so it doesn't give them too much of time. But yes, there were arguments soon after the verdict came out on Sanjay Dutt. There was a debate that sparked off, is that whether there is any kind of difference in treatment been giving out to Sanjay Dutt, and on the grounds on which he was given that reprieve of 1 month. Now, those arguments are laid to rest when the Supreme Court also acts in a similar manner in the cases of the likes of S.R. Memon as well as Yusuf Nalwala as well. So the same logic, or the same legal logic, could also be applied to Zebun-Nisa Kazi. But again, that would be speculative in nature at this point in time. All we can talk about at this point, because Zebun-Nisa Kazi's petition is still to come up with the Chief Justice's bench, is the manner in which, or the grounds on which she has appealed. Her appeals before were to invoke Article 21 of the Constitution, saying that her clemency plea is still pending before the governor. But this time, she has now adopted a different approach, an approach on humanitarian grounds, on grounds that she is unwell, on grounds of her old age, on grounds that she's not very fit, and that she has an illness as well. Those are the grounds on which she has appealed. So it remains to be seen how the judge appreciates that later this afternoon around 2 o'clock.